Alright, today we are going to review arithmetic and geometric sequence. Alright, so I'm going to write out the formula first, just in case we see it on the practice and we're able to use it. So arithmetic will be a sub n, a sub 1 plus, right, n minus 1 multiplied with the difference, okay? And geometric will be a sub n, a sub 1 time ratio raised to the power of n minus 1, okay? All right, so we're going to look on number 1. Write an equation to represent the sequence below. You can see the relationship between the first and the second number is multiplied by -2. 22 to -44 is also multiplied by -2, okay? So now you can see the first term will be -11, so I can eliminate this. And the ratio will be -2, so I can choose either B or D, but it needs to be ratio raised to the power of n minus 1, so B is the correct answer. All right, so for number 2, what is the rule related to S, the number of shade title, to W, to the number of white title, okay? So we look at the figure 1, we have 4 shade and 2 white. For number 2, we have 6 shade and 4 white. For number 3, you have 8 shade. We have 8 shade and 6 white. And then we can see the relationship between them, right? Shade to y will be -2. Shaded to y will be -2 every time, right? So you can eliminate 2 times S and 2 times W, right? Okay, now we have either shade will be white -2 or white will be shade -2. All right, so let's take a look on the first one. So to find a W, we take the shade, take away 2. So we got J, right? For the second figure, you take 6 shade and you -2, you got 4 white, right? So J is correct. And our marching band is lining up the pattern below. Row 1 have 1 box. Row 2 have 5 box. Row 3 have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can count row 4 have 13. So the relationship is adding 4, and adding 4, right? So you can see the only choices that we can make right here is C, right, with the 4. But now we're gonna double check to see will that correct, okay? Supposed to be, if you use arithmetic, you will have the number, we are gonna have 1, a sub 1 plus n minus 1, n minus 1 times 4. Is that correct? Okay, but we don't have that option right here, okay? But, you know, we can simplify them based on this, right? So we have 1 plus 4n, 4 times 1 will be, we distribute them, right? We're going to have -4. Is that correct? And then -4 add 1, which is combined the like term, you will have 4n minus 3. So that is what it is. Okay, so we use distributive properties. All right, number 4. Write the equation to represent the sequence below. All right, so now we are going to see the relationship. 1/2 to 1/4. Okay, so 1/4 to 1/8, 1/8 to 16. So this will be geometric, right? Because you cannot add or subtracting those, okay? But if you wonder how much they being multiply or divide, you can take 1/4 and divide it by 1/2 and see what's going on. And if I do that, I see 1/2. If you multiply with 1/2, you get 1/4. 1/4, you multiply 1/2, you get 1/8. 1/8, you multiply 1/2, you got 1/16. So the rule will be 1/2. What is the choice? G. All right. Continue like this. Okay. 3 go down to 1. 1 go down to 1/3. Okay. So you cannot subtract 2, right? So you are dividing by 3. Right? Because if you're going down, your number will be getting smaller, you are dividing a number. So 1 divide 3, you got 1/3. 1/3 divide 3, you got 1/9. All right? So either you're going to divide by 3, it will be the same meaning of multiply with 1/3, right? Multiply with the reciprocal. Right, so the answer, a sub n, will be a sub 1 times ratio raised to the power of n minus 1 for geometric, right? So we start with 3, so we can eliminate that, time 1/3. So this is the correct answer. Number 6, 4 down to 2, 2 down to 1. You cannot subtract 2, right? You divide 2. You divide 2. Okay, so same ratio, same formula for geometric. So a sub n will be the first term, which is 4. And then the ratio will be 1/2. Because divide by 2 is the same as multiply with the reciprocal, multiply with 1/2. There we go. All right. Okay. This one right here, the difference will be what? Minus 0.4. The difference will be minus 0.4. Subtract 0.4 every term, right? Now, if you doesn't know why I get to negative 0.4, I take negative 5.8, subtract to negative 5.4, and I got negative 0.4. Okay, so by the way, negative 0.4, you can eliminate a because it should be negative number, and it should be the same at negative 2/5. All right, next. Now, you can see this one doesn't show the way of the way that they have arithmetic, right? Which is a sub n will be a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Correct? You don't see that way, okay? Because a sub 1, you're supposed to have negative 5.4. And you can see this choice is not the one, right? Plus, let's say n minus 1 times the difference. Now we know the difference, correct? The difference is what? The difference is negative 0.4, right? Which is negative 2/5. Agree with me? Okay, now let's distribute and simplify, see what we have, okay? Negative 5.4, adding, right? Adding a negative. My bad, this should not be adding because negative 2/5 times n will be subtract negative 5n. Okay, negative times a negative is positive, adding 2/5. All right. Then you combine the like term, which is negative 5/4, add 2/5. I'll give you a moment to put it in your calculator if you want to. And you should get negative 5. And then minus 2/5 n. Okay, and you can see the answer is right here. Okay, so basically if you don't see the arithmetic, okay, you should write the formula down. You plug in what you know. For example, you plug in your first term, right? You plug in the differences, right? And then you do the distributive properties, simplify to find a sub n. All right, number 8, okay? The difference between this will be minus 3. The difference will be minus 3, okay? And again, I look at all my choices. I can eliminate these two answers, which is 3n, 3n, right? Because it should be negative 3, right? Also, I'm confused because I don't see my first term. Do you see my first term? It should be negative 1 somewhere, but I don't see it. So that means I have to write the formula down and plug in what I know and simplify my formula. Okay, so let's start with a sub n will be a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times the difference. Okay, a sub 1 is negative 1, the first term, plus n minus 1 times the difference, which is time negative 3. All right, I'm going to do distributive properties. Go negative 1. That becomes negative 3n. And then that becomes 3. Okay, combine like term. 3 minus 1 is 2 minus 3n. So I can pick H, similar. All right, number 9. Okay, let's see the differences. Okay, if you doesn't know the differences, okay, because your number is negative, sometimes it's hard to feel or to see the negative. You take the second number, you subtract with the first term, you will see the differences. Oops. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And the difference will be minus 1.5. Okay, you do the same thing. You take negative 5, you subtract to negative 3.5. The difference will be negative 1.5 every term. Okay, and again, you can eliminate B and D, right? If you don't know it's A or C, that means your first term doesn't start with negative 1/2. Not the one, plus 1/2, right? It starts with negative 2, so that means I have to write out the formula and plug in what I know. So A sub n will be A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D. A sub 1 is negative 2 plus n minus 1 times, we can use negative 3/2 or negative 1/2. Okay. Negative 2, distributive properties, we have negative 3/2n plus 3/2. Combine like term, negative 2 add 3/2. You got negative 1/2 minus 32n. And the correct answer will be A. It is A.